Yo, what's up guys, it's me New with FinallyAnime.com, and so a couple days ago Mr. Quaint Pictures and I released a video with a few weapons, shields, skins, and relics from the new DLC. So we didn't know much before, but I've gathered all the information I need and have done enough testing to warrant this video so I can confidently tell you right now, besides one gun which I promise you never use, this video has all the new uniques, including Legendary, Etech Seraph, and new purples, and by all, I mean all. Excluding minute variations like plus or -2 to accuracy or attachments, what you see is what everyone will get, so with that said, let's shake and bake. Legendary Ogre. The first weapon we got going on is the new legendary assault rifle from Torgue known as the Ogre. In fact, this makes a return from the original Atlas version in Borderlands 1, which was also an assault rifle and had the explosive element. Unfortunately, in this new DLC update, the gun is nothing to write home about, only just marginally edging out its purple sibling. The Ogre ends up ultimately having negligible differences, which can only be put to use with someone like Krieg, and barely so. A pretty new weapon indeed, but nothing special. Etech Swordsplosion. Coincidentally, the next weapon in our little spotlight is also a Torgue and is called the Swordsplosion. And as implied, it confidently spews out a myriad of flying swords in different directions from the point of impact. Comparable to Torgue's quad-barreled Ravager shotgun, this gun is much more accurate and has much more bells and whistles. A welcome addition to Borderlands 2 for sure. We'll need a bit of help taking down more complicated enemies along with some ultimate badasses, but nonetheless, an incredibly solid gun, and I'll definitely be keeping this one. The Omen. The new Tediore Seraph shotgun, dubbed the Omen, is a fairly respectful gun, but nothing too special, being a mix of the blue unique Octo and Minecraft Easter egg Blockade. It seems like in straightforward crowds of enemies it could do alright, but for single targets it really makes no sense to use. It's ultimately up to you, of course, whether you're gonna like this new weapon or not. Maxis Crit. Like many other new weapons in this DLC, the Crit seems to just be a tacked on gun with no redeeming qualities. 2.5% of the damage dealt will heal you, but occasionally some reloads will toss the gun out of your hands, hence the quote, slippery when wet flavor text. If you're thinking Gage can monopolize on this weapon, then you're sorely mistaken. Not even she can. A mediocre weapon at best. The Orc. A new SMG reminiscent of the purple bandit gun, the Bone Shredder. This weapon can spawn with any element, although the stats are some of the worst you'll ever find on an SMG period. The good or bad touch easily outclass this, and even its effect, which randomly ricochets splitting bullets and temporarily increases fire rate. The main issue with its effect is it's so temperamental. There's no guarantee the effect will happen even after 3 clips. It'd be best to ignore this new gun as well. Moxxi's Grog Nozzle. Sounding like some forbidden sex act from Willy Wonka, the Grog Nozzle is the new gun to dethrone the Ruby, being the new premier healing tool. Merely switching to this gun has the potential to fully heal you. With a whopping 65% health from damage stat, this gun already does so much. With the ×2 or bladed attachment, its usefulness is extended furthermore. Another funny thing this gun does is slightly tamper with the post-processing, tilting the screen ever so slightly from time to time, and you might not even notice it. Also from time to time, the bullets split until a target is reached. And if that wasn't enough, less occasional are shots which home in on a nearby target. Now, while most of these novel effects aren't anything exciting, the prospect of solid healing definitely is. The Florentine. The long-lost cousin of the Tulane is finally here with a new, superior Etech Seraph SMG. The amazing thing this time around is this gun is better to the Tulane in almost every way. Each round contains slag and shock with no strings attached. Not as powerful as many would think even with a properly spec gauge, but is good enough to keep in any inventory, especially if you missed out on the Slaga. I can only imagine if they made a fire or corrosive version. The Seeker. I believe all versions of this gun have the bladed attachment, but I could be wrong. The Seraph Torgue Seeker, like you'd think, have homing rounds, though with a caveat. The reticle must be near the opponent for the effect to work. When further away, the weapon's much more lenient, but up close, even being slightly off, will still miss. The fire rate is abysmal, along with terrible damage, even with slag. The Kerblaster is better than this gun in every area, so it makes sense that this Seraph should be a Seraph. Chain Lightning. In regards to grenades, Gearbox are treating them like spells, and your grenade count like a slowly recharging mana bar, and I mean slowly, for the new DLC. If you're curious what the recharge is like, you'll regenerate 3 grenades in the span of 50 seconds, so don't expect too much. Chain Lightning, as expected, bounces lightning from target to target, but does not stun like Bioshock Infinite. Also bounces off walls. Paired with the Grog Nozzle, this is probably one of the most instant guaranteed heals of the game. Not much damage, but still an interesting concept. Firestorm. Among one of the most straightforward and direct grenades in Borderlands 2, this grenade creates a decent explosion of fire at the target location with delayed fireballs. It does great damage to flesh, and even if directly under it, the Grog Nozzle lets you stay there with impunity. A fun grenade worth keeping for sure. Magic Missile. Probably one of the most dirty sounding, entertaining items we get for this new expansion. The Magic Missile typically homes in on the closest foe and pops them twice. In this case, we have slag, and it's a no-brainer for slag-happy players. But despite being so entertaining, there are better alternatives in relation to slagging and damage which easily outshine this. Aside from regenerating ammo, there's nothing really too spectacular. The Blockade. The Blockade has got to be one of the most vague shields in Borderlands 2, only second to the Mysterious Amulet. Supposedly damage reduction is quite high while close to max, but not that great when close to depleted. After testing this shield out, I can honestly say it's a piece of shit. I would test this for the math myself, but it sucks so much, I don't even see a point. The Antagonist. When the Tiny Tina leak first hit, this shield was quite different, and it's apparent some of the effects were removed and or scaled down. Gearbox might still be making changes, but for now, this is what we have, and it's a decent shield. Although I do wonder if this would complement or conflict with Maya's kinetic reflection. Well, in any instance, I really like this shield. It's very solid, and it seems like it might be a good one to make a solid build or two from. And I'll be holding on to this one too. Relics. For relics, there's a new one called Shadow of the Ancients, and it gives you an extended chance to shoot a burst of 2 bullets instead of just 1. You still use 1 extra shot's worth of ammo, but of course, you inflict more damage. Mixed with 0 skill to pop out 2 shots, you'd probably be able to get out double damage output incredibly easy and consistently with an infinity. Not quite sure what the cap is, but it seems 33% is the highest I've seen thus far. The last thing we got is a pendant called the Mysterious Amulet, giving +5 to friendship. When another friend has it equipped as well, you'll begin seeing little hearts and pretty stuff on the ground, but as of yet, it's the only item I'm not really too sure what it does yet. As you may have noticed, Gearbox also decided to insert some new weapon skins as purples. The naming conventions follow rocks and gems with names such as Diamond, Amethyst, Emerald, and even some funny ones like Cubic Zirconia. Mr. Quaint Pictures described it to me a little earlier about the new system for purples, but honestly I didn't understand what he was talking about, so instead I'll simply tell you that purples in Tiny Tina's DLC will be having some better looking skins and slightly better stats. So just keep in mind majority of the guns will not surpass uniques or legendaries from what I can see, but I do imagine a couple shotguns being particularly useful if we can get a hold of some quad barrels. But at any rate, here's a quick run through of some of the new things you'll most likely be seeing in the immediate future. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate all the attention, keeping up with me and my channel. And of course, if you're new, I just want to say welcome, just a really big welcome. And be sure to check out my other build videos and further Borderlands 2 stuff planned. I actually have a new series I'll be doing, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to keep it under wraps and keep it a surprise for now, but just be sure to check back and you'll be seeing something definitely. And of course, I'll be working on trying to put up a schedule on my banner too, so watch out for that as well. But anyways, thanks again guys, and as always, happy YouTubing, and I'll see you later. Alright, see ya.